know, is anything weird with the live stream? Am I turned sideways? Am I in portrait mode or landscape mode?
You're not on yet.
Your camera is behind, or your phone is behind a little bit. YouTube gave us a different kind of go live thing this time, and now I'm not sure how it's happening. Anyway, just asking, am I okay? I see. Okay, so today, how's everybody doing? Oh, now it's sideways. Okay. Let me see if we can figure this out.
It's not going to let you do it that way, is it?
I guess so. I guess we're going to do it this way.
That's bad.
Well, guys, I don't know why it has chosen to not let me be in. Well, guys, I don't know why it has chosen to mute that, please. Not let me be in. It's not. YouTube is not letting me record in landscape mode, only in portrait mode, and so we're just going to have to deal with this for this live stream. I apologize for that. Shouldn't be that big a deal, but. Anyway, so today what we're going to do is we're going to do an all grain mash, 100% corn, 2 pounds per gallon. And I've already been heating up the water. We're probably almost to temperature. I'm just going to kind of go over the steps here first. Like I said, 16 pounds or 7.25 kilograms of corn. 8 gallons or 30.3 liters of water, and we're going to gelatinize between 180 to 190 Fahrenheit or 82 and 87 Celsius. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up to about 90, and then I'm going to drop the corn in. It's going to fall down a little bit and have to heat back up. But we're going to do that for 90 minutes. We're going to gelatinize the corn for 90 minutes. And what's neat about the enzymes that we're using, this is the high temperature alpha amylase liquid enzyme, and it can withstand really high temperatures. And so we can gelatinize and use the alpha amylase at the same time, which saves time in the mashing process, and it will begin to thin out the gelatinized starch as it goes, so you don't end up with that really clumpy mess. So that's the good thing. And then we've also got the glucose amylase right here, and we'll after our 90 minutes we're going to drop our temperature down to 140 and add in our glucose amylase, so that it can finish breaking down the saccharides into fermentable sugars. And the good thing about this liquid enzyme, the glucose, it will continue to break down fermentable sugars all the way down to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm really excited to use these. These aren't that expensive. They're like $7 each. And each bottle will do 100 gallons, and what you add is 1.3 milliliters per gallon. So we're going to be doing 8 gallons. That comes out to, I don't know, 10.4 milliliters. I'll probably just do 12 just to give it a little extra and make sure. And once that all another thing I'm going to do just before I add in the high temp Amylase, I'm going to take a sample off, and we're going to do a starch test. I'm going to hold the sample. I'm not going to dump it back in. And then once we get back down and we're adding in the other enzyme, and I think our starch conversion is done, we'll do another test, and you'll be able to see the difference, what the mash looks like when you're doing an iodine test and when you're getting a good conversion. So that's another thing we're going to do. I also wanted to talk a little, let me check the temperature real quick. Okay.
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready.
It is so hot.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, this is the fermenter that we made in one of the live streams. Also, if you saw us do the mixed berry brandy, this is the one we used, and it worked out really good. The bad thing was this plastic valve leaked from the get-go, leaked from right here, from the get-go. So I'm recommending against that. I'm going to swap that out because I have this one, and all I need is to get a nipple to put it in. So I'm making that change on that, but I'm going to do that off camera. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention because this is the fermenter that we're going to put this 8-gallon batch in. The reason I'm doing an 8-gallon batch is because I'm going to run this with the Mile High 8-gallon still, which I don't ever put more than 7 gallons in when I run it, just for the headspace. So do an 8-gallon batch and I'll be able to get 7 gallons of liquid out of it for sure.
Uncle Charlie said he had 300 gallons leak out at one time.
300 gallons from a leak? You lost it all? Dang, that sucks. How's your arm doing, Charlie? I know you you said you burned it in a distilling accident. You doing all right? Okay, so that's basically what we got going on today. I'll show you the corn, how fine I ground it up, just so you can get an idea. So pretty fine.
It's feeling better, not infected yet.
Feeling better? Good. So it's pretty fine. Now, when I'm using the corn to steep and I'm not doing conversion, I don't grind it up like that because you don't really need to when you're just grabbing the flavor. But when you're going to convert the starches into sugars, if you grind it up, it just makes it easier to get better conversion rates. So that's why I've ground it up. And let's see. We've got the wort chiller so that we can drop down to our 140 easily, or more easily. I don't know how easily it's going to go. It'll be the first time that I use the wort chiller. So we're going to do that. And
we're going to take baths.
And so if you're new to the live stream, you might not know, but the live stream has been dropping, and it's because our internet service out here is unreliable. And so Winsong wants to let everybody wager on how long the live stream is going to last until it drops on us today. So if you guys want to play around with that just for fun, we'll give away a t-shirt if somebody wins. But we don't do that here on YouTube. We'll do that only in the MeWe group. So if you're not part of the MeWe group, I mean, you can play along for fun, but because of YouTube regulations and stuff that they require, I don't have all that set up yet, so I can't officially do giveaways on YouTube.
Joe Stillwater says 65 minutes. Oh, they can do that.
65 minutes, Joe says. Now, I will let you guys know that usually when we do this, Winsong is using her phone, so that's some of the bandwidth we're taking up. And then of course my phone is doing the recording for the live stream. We're taking up some bandwidth, and then I will also hook up the laptop so that I can read chats and stuff, and that'll take up some of the bandwidth. Today we're not using the laptop, so maybe we're hoping that makes a difference. So it might not drop at all. We'll see. But then again, also, we got thunderstorms going on today too, which usually makes internet service tougher. So
Okay,
who
Uncle
knows?
Charlie, y'all
What?
talk to him about working MeWe. This is the second comment he's made. He hasn't been able to get in the MeWe group.
Uncle Charlie, what is going on? You got to give us a little more information. What's happening when you try?
She's gonna keep trying because it's raining.
You've got to make a profile, and I think it just requires putting in a name and either an email address or a phone number. I think they're not real strict about the information that you give them. And then you use one of our invite links to find the group, or you can search for the group, and sometimes it comes up on search and sometimes it doesn't. MeWe's a little bit glitchy that way.
He said he applied today.
You applied today, okay. I'm not sure what you mean by you applied to the group and you can't get in the group. What do you mean? So if you applied to the group, then we should have, there's like 4 questions you have to answer, and then we let you in the group. And the questions are real simple. Are you a beginner? Do you have a skill? That kind of stuff.
Maybe it's making the profile.
Maybe you're talking about making the profile. So there might be some.
It's not accepted yet. I'll check right now.
Okay. Winsong is checking on that right now. Make sure you get accepted if you've already gotten that far to apply to the group. So if you're just joining the live stream, for those of you maybe just coming in, we're going to do an all grain mash, all 100% corn. We're going to use liquid enzymes, and I'm still getting everything up to temperature. I thought there's something wrong with my thermometer. It keeps going down, and I've got my flame on high, and it keeps going down. So I'm not going to be able to trust my thermometer. It's got to be pretty close to 190. It's starting to boil a little bit, so I'm going to dump in the corn now, and then turn on the drill and let it stir, and kind of let it stir in for a little bit, and then I'll take a sample of the starch. We'll do it just to put some iodine in so that you guys can see what the iodine test looks like when you didn't get a starch conversion. And hold on 1 minute.
We don't have his application.
Uncle Charlie, we don't have your application in the group. I think you might be talking about maybe MeWe hasn't given you an account yet, and you might need to check. There might be a verification process on your phone or on the email that you gave them. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this corn in now. You need to work the camera better.
Nice view of your butt.
Nice.
Huh?
I said nice. And for those of you that might have missed it, this is 16 pounds of corn and 8 gallons of water. And I'm going to look for my other thermometer, or if you'll grab it, baby, it should be in that shelf right there, my little thermometer, so that I can check the temperature, because this is Now it has jumped up to nearly 195. So now it's a little tiny one, just a regular, yeah, that's it. Now it looks like the thermometer is working. It jumped way up. I'm going to turn that heat down. I don't think.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't guess he needs to follow. Wayne says he likes stirring the bucket.
Who?
Bad boy.
Like
Wayne.
stirring the bucket?
No,
Okay.
I read that wrong. Bracket.
We'll do a
He
little
likes stirring the
sample
bucket.
here. Now this is the first time I'm using the drill mixer. I just made this up yesterday, and I didn't make a video about it. That's just, I did share it on our Volley channel. You know, not everything we do makes it to the YouTube channel. A lot of the members, were always sharing stuff in the groups. That's why it's good to be in the MeWe group or in the Volley group. I shared the building stuff that I was doing yesterday on the group.
Wayne Pierre said that he's on Volley, but he's not sure how to use it. He sees some videos.
Oh, okay.
Just maybe kind of show him how to use it. Yeah.
Okay, this is full starch. No conversion yet. And you can see how it's just dark, 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 dark. And so, since this is the first time I'm using this paddle mixer, I'm assuming that it is doing well and not scorching the corn, but not going to be able to know for sure. So we're going to give this a little time to let it thicken up a little bit, and then we're going to add in I'm going to do 12 milliliters of the high temperature amylase enzyme.
You got this okay while I go take her and put her back in the house?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Oscar says hi, looking good.
It is a hot and muggy day.
Wet and rainy.
And I'm feeling this.
Okay, I'm turning this. I'll be right back.
All right. A little more. Okay, 12 milliliters. That's ready. Let's see. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I started putting the Celsius conversions and the metric conversions. We got a lot of people in our audience that are not using the American units, and so I'm trying to teach myself those conversions so that I can do them on the fly a little more easily. And I'll get there. It'll take some time. And looks like I've got a few chunks. I'm going to make sure. Let's see. I do have some chunks. It looks like. Turn this up a little. If all of this gets too loud and annoying, let me know. I'm going to see if I can grab the camera and show you guys the thickness. So it's pretty thick right now. Now I'm going to add the amylase, the enzyme. This is the alpha amylase, the high temp. And it'll start thinning this out immediately because it's breaking down those starches into the saccharides. You can already hear the sauce starting to speed up because it's not as thick, much thinner. So I can turn the speed down on the sauce. And I'm at 195 degrees right now. And so if you've done all grain mashes before, you know you would never add your enzymes that high because they'll just denature. But that's the good thing about these enzymes. They won't denature at that high temperature. So I'm going to grab it. You can already see, I don't know if you can, how much thinner it is or not, but it's a lot thinner. So they work really, really well. I've got a few little clumps in there. So we're gonna let that run for a little bit.
Move this.
And then we're gonna drop the temperature down to 140, add our other enzymes in, and start making fermentable sugars. Because what this is doing, this high temperature enzyme right now is not making fermentable sugars. It's just breaking the long starch chains into shorter starch chains or shorter saccharides that the glucose amylase, when we add later, this will convert everything into fermentable sugars. So it's a two-stage process, and works really well. I don't know, does anybody have any questions? We're going to be waiting for a little bit on this. Now we got a thunderstorm going on. I don't know how distracting that is for y'all.
Loud.
And that rheostat that I'm using is just it's a dimmer switch for a light. So I don't know how long that's actually going to work, or because it's not really made for the amount of amps that we're pulling with that drill. So I don't know how long that'll last, but it did solve the problem we were having, because yesterday I couldn't adjust the speed of that drill with zip ties, and it was either too slow or it was way too fast, and it was super loud.
Roger says that the sound is like it's tinnitus.
Right. Yeah, like tinnitus, yeah.
Wait, what is a salt pill?
Huh?
He says a salt pill can help tinnitus. I want some info on that.
Oh, a salt pill helps
Yeah.
tinnitus. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Definitely
I want to
look
know
into
more.
that, though.
We both suffer from popping too many rounds with unprotected ears.
Right. So I had some, I had about 2 gallons, actually it was about 3 gallons left of the mixed berry brandy after I made my run in the 8-gallon still. And I mixed it with about 3 gallons that I had left over from the
I'm gonna get this up a little closer.
the easy all grain mash that I did. Corn. Turn this down a little more. So I did one of the kits that we offer on the STC website is the
The windows are open. They have to be open.
Yeah.
It's too hot in here.
the Easy Beginner All Grain Mash Kit, and I did that several videos back and ran it already, which I'm also going to do a video. Excuse me, I'm going to do a video oaking that. But I had about 3 gallons of that left over. I added the brandy to it, so it's going to be kind of like a kind of what they call around here a mountain brandy, which is when people take grain and fruit and mix them together. They call it a mountain brandy. So I'm going to be running one of those. And also I was going to let you guys know, over in the MeWe group, we do a giveaway once a month at least. And this month, this next giveaway, we just had our last giveaway, and this next giveaway, we're giving away 10 hats. So we're going to have 10 winners in this giveaway, which is really awesome. One of our admins, a member in the MeWe group, he donated the hats. And so if it's these hats right here. Let me see your hat, babe. Let me show them. So one of these hats you can win in the giveaway, but you've got to be a member of the Moonshine for Beginners group on MeWe, because that's where we do our giveaways. We can't do them on YouTube. So that's coming up in about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. We're going to be giving those away, but we do giveaways every month. It's almost like water. So thinning out nicely, nicely, nicely. I'm going to take a look.
Okay. Mentioning toilet paper moonshine again. Just the sound of it.
So it is really thin right now. Let me turn the heat down a little bit.
Right to the toilet.
Oh.
Anybody?
Pouring in.
Oh, that window?
Yeah.
Crap, that's gonna be a mess.
So we're getting real good conversion so far with the alpha amylase enzyme. It's working really good. And now it's just kind of time. We just got to let it go for a little bit. And then we'll drop our temperature down. We'll add our other enzymes. I wish I could see the chat. I really can't see what you guys are talking about. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
We'll solve all these problems as we go along. And so if you just joined the live stream, we're making an all grain mash right now. We've already added our high temp liquid enzyme, the alpha amylase. Won't denature at high temps, so we added it at like 195. And it started doing its thing. Now we're just giving it some time to both completely completely gelatinize and let the alpha amylase break up those long starch chains into saccharides. So that's all that's going on right now. Now I'm just talking. Just taking up time.
Why is there MJW says MeWe is full of wonderful people.
Yeah. Yeah, MeWe is a really good platform. I prefer it to Facebook. I do have some stuff going on over at Facebook, but I prefer the MeWe group.
You've got people who don't put them on there and they lose it, so I
Yeah.
was going to look it over there, but.
So, yeah, if you're not a member of the MeWe group, you should definitely do it. Also, Volley, those links are in the description of this live stream, in the description of most of our videos. Hey, is Old School in the house?
Yes. Well, he was.
So, are you still in the house, Old School? I want to talk about still in Old School because he's already released 2 videos on our community channel here, and they're a big success. People are loving his style of explaining what he calls the old school science, which I love. But I wanted to bring attention to his channel. He has a personal channel, but he's also putting things on that channel that he's not putting on the STC channel. So you guys should go check it out. Subscribe to him if you want, but go show him some love over there because he's got, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 shorts already. Just information that's not over here on this channel that he's putting on his channel. Of course, a couple of the videos are the same videos he put on STC, but they're on his personal channel too. But anyway, he's going to have some stuff over there that you guys are going to like, I'm sure. So now I wish I had a cold drink instead of coffee. It is really hot in here right now. It's a hot, muggy day, even though it's raining. And we got propane going on in here, heating this water up, heating this mash up. Sticky hot in here right now.
Okay.
So I'll ask everybody in the chat, or everybody watching that wants to chat, who is not a member of Moonshine for Beginners over at either MeWe.com or at Volley? Let me know. Give me a sign. Let me know about how many people are not members. I know a lot of the names already, so the people that are chatting, I can usually tell if they're already members or not, because I mean that group is really active. Every day we're in there talking moonshine stuff. I dropped several videos yesterday in the Volley space of me making the bracket for this drill. I also made a bracket that, or it was like a little chute tube funnel for my corn grinder, so it would catch all the corn as it was grinding instead of flying all over the place. And I posted all those videos over in the Volley space. But it's all day long. People are talking about moonshine stuff. So if you're looking for a good place to go find good information and a lot of help, everybody is always helping each other in that group. So you should definitely go check it out. If you haven't, I might be talking mostly to the choir right now. Because I know a lot of you are already in the group.
John Lee says he's not.
Don's not in the group? Don, who was it?
John Lee.
Oh, John Lee, okay.
Bonnie's here.
Hey, Bonnie. Bonnie's in a couple of our groups over on MeWe. We also have an off-grid group over on MeWe Bonnie's a part of.
She said need a nice cold iced tea.
I do need a nice cold iced tea. You bet. Well, John, you should definitely check out the group. I think you would really like it. A lot going on over there all day long, every day. And we cut up and joke and, we get off topic sometimes, but most of the time it's moonshine stuff.
Rocky Campbell said he's not a member, but he does the live stream.
Well, I appreciate you being in the live stream, brother. Appreciate it. You should definitely check out the group, though. I think you would find it very useful. Lots of information, and especially too, not only if you're just a beginner, but if you're experienced and you enjoy sharing the things that you know with beginners and helping them along their journey, that's just as fun. You know, there's a lot of people over there with a lot of experience that get a lot of benefit from just helping the people that are just getting into the hobby, and that's what it's all about over there. So if you
Oscar
enjoy
said
that,
his
jump over there.
advice to John is join the group.
Right on. And so I didn't mean for this to sound like a commercial for our MeWe group, but
We
I
just
really
have so
just,
much fun.
like, we don't have anything going on. We're just waiting on this to stir for a while. So I can't just sit here silent on a live stream. That would be very boring. What?
You need to hook up the computer.
Yeah.
Like this.
Winsong's telling me we need to hook up the computer, but I was just trying something new and to see if it helped us not drop the live stream like we've done the last, I think, 3 times. We've dropped the live stream in the middle of the live stream, and it's kind of annoying. So, but so far we haven't dropped it. I don't know if that made a difference or not, but I do enjoy having the laptop so that I can see what you guys are chatting about, and I can jump in there and talk about it, because right now I can't see it. And I just have to wait for Winsong to point something out for me.
Nicolo Bianco says not a member but loves watching your videos.
Awesome. Appreciate you watching. Glad you like them.
And Wiser and
Do they require a phone number?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Might
But
require.
obviously they do.
I guess they require a phone number. Yeah, because it's mostly a messaging app, and they have a.
For some reason I thought I used email.
I thought they would do either or, but they have like a laptop version, and then they also have like a mobile version for the app. You might try going to the desktop, going to the desktop version. They might be able to do.
Yeah. Pick up the computer.
Uh,
They come in and touch it. I come in and do it.
Okay,
Talk to it. I
okay.
can't get them to you.
Mama says hook up the computer. The chat's going too fast. Okay. All right, we'll get it hooked up here. You got your WeberNet turned on
I'm
for me?
gonna.
Okay. I don't know where my remote went. Or not my remote, my mouse. Mouse signal remote.
Oh, it might be on the desk.
No, it's over here somewhere. I brought it in. Okay, I guess I don't need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the laptop. And if we drop the live stream before I get to show you guys how to finish,
Well, I took
we'll just blame Winsong.
screenshots. I took screenshots of the bets, the guesses, estimating,
Yeah, but
guesstimating when it's gonna quit, so we'll know who's place.
yeah, but more importantly, what if they don't get to finish watching how we do this mash?
Hi from Australia, Stephen B. And do you prefer to ferment off the grain for bourbon?
Say again.
He wants to know if you prefer to ferment off the grain for bourbon.
I prefer fermenting everything on the grain. That's just my preference. I've done both.
Bad boy agrees with you. It's a good job saying his last name. People usually butcher it. Nicolo Bianco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good, because I'm usually really bad at sounding out stuff I'm unfamiliar with.
All right, y'all. I'm pulling up the live stream now. Hopefully it doesn't bump us off. And as far as our gravity, we are doing we're doing 2 pounds per gallon. Corn has a, corn has a PPG, or this corn I think has a PPG of like 30. And so that means that we should get like a 1.060 initial gravity, which is just right for me. That's kind of where I like things to be. And if you're, when I say PPG, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, we have a video about PPG to it describes kind of how it works and how to use it, how to do the calculations. It's really simple. And I've got another video coming out this week. Well, we've got videos coming out every week, so I guess I don't have to go through that. We typically do at least 2 videos per week, not counting the live stream, and sometimes we do 3 videos a week plus the live stream. So, all right, I'm in the chat. I see you. I see you folks now. I'm gonna say hi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is 100% corn.
Why is there
Wait.
NJW? Have you tried Google Voice?
Do
It's
what?
like a phone. It gives you a phone number. He said that Telegram is his only phone.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to work all that. You can get a phone number through Google. You can do VoIPs. I don't know what the solution would be for your case, but Volley's like having an online encyclopedia, but live. It's so handy. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Our Volley space that we created, I think is going to be where it's at. I think that's where the community is eventually going to end up. But right now, our community is still mostly on MeWe at the Moonshine for Beginners group, and we're not going to get rid of it. We'll always have both. I just think the ability to send a video chat to the group and say, hey, I'm having this problem, what do you guys think? And then, within seconds or minutes, get several video chats back saying, hey, did you try this? Or give this a shot and see if this will work. And it's, it's like real-time help to solve problems. And in fact, it was Oscar yesterday. Oscar was having some problems. He jumped on there, and then everybody started giving him their answers and solved the problem that day. I think he had was it a stuck mash? Yeah, you had a stuck mash, and we got that sucker going again. And that all happened on Volley. That's why it's so awesome.
What's the difference between fermenting off the grain from on the grain?
So, in my opinion, the difference between fermenting on the grain and off the grain is, everything's a trade-off. So the advantage to fermenting off the grain is all the liquid that you've got after you've strained it from the grain. It's easy to get that into the still. Your wash into the still. But the problem you have is getting all the sugars off of the grain before you ferment. You can sparge, and that helps, but you still leave behind some sugar that will never get converted into alcohol. Whereas if you are fermenting on the grain, you get to you get to convert all the sugar that's there into alcohol. The problem then is now you lose some of that alcohol that you converted. It doesn't make it into the still because it gets trapped in the grain, and you know, you can use a press and you can get all the liquid off the grain, but you still always give up something. And for me, I would rather let all those flavors that are in that grain continue to steep throughout the entire fermenting process and save the time and not have to do things like sparging and stuff like that. So I'm a lot more willing to give up a little bit here and there just for the sake of time and energy. But that's, you know, those are choices people, you just have to make on your own. How much water volume do you estimate you will lose to the corn? Maybe half a gallon or a gallon. I don't spend it. I could press it out and get more of the liquid out, but like I said, I value time and energy over saving that last little bit, and so I don't spend a lot of time trying to capture that last little bit. I'll lose half a gallon to a gallon, and I'm not worried about it.
Rocky made it to me.
Huh?
Rocky made it to me.
Rocky made it to me. Great. Glad you made it. The corn does have nutrients and adds extra flavor, but it can be a pain. Yeah, that's why, like, I build fermenters that separate the grain, separate the wash from the grain for me. And so after the fermentation is done, I'll have a valve at the bottom of all my fermenters, and I just drain it off. I strain it off. There's always a little bit down in the fermenter that doesn't make it, but that's okay. I don't worry about it. And every now and then I'll use brew bags or something like that, but I prefer just having a fermenter that automatically separates the liquid from the grain. It's just a lot easier for me.
And David Connors, I don't know who it is on here, but he just joined too.
Rubber duck, I like getting 2 uses from the grain, all grain, and a follow-up sugar head. There's a little to no sugar left after first round of mashing and sparging, but there's still flavor. Yeah, I mean there's 100 different ways to do it. Okay. Windsong is like using sign language with me right now. I'm like, what are you trying to say? She's telling me to look at the camera. Stop looking at it. But I'm reading. Okay. Anyway. So, wiser when you ferment on the grain, you are sure that the yeast will get all the sugar out of the grain for conversion as opposed to steeping on the grain. You'll get sugar out of the grain by steeping. Yeah, that's true. And like I said, it's always, everything is a trade-off. Like, you can get all that sugar, you're going to lose a little bit of alcohol, or you can get all that alcohol, but some of the sugar is not going to get converted. Everything is a trade-off in this game, as like everything is a trade-off in life. Every decision you make, you're giving up something to gain something else. And so there's 1,000 different ways to do home distilling. There's no wrong way or right way. You just do it your way, the way you like to do it. Let's see, Lucas. Now you said you're doing a 6-gallon batch. Are you expecting to lose a gallon? No, I'm doing an 8-gallon. I'm doing an 8-gallon batch, and I expect I'll lose a gallon or so because I'm going to run this batch through the mile high still, and I don't ever put more than 7 gallons. And
I figured that'd keep you looking at the camera.
yeah, that's distracting. Thank you, baby. So I'll never put more than 7 gallons in it anyway, so I'm starting with an 8-gallon batch. Plan on losing a gallon, and then I'll have just what I need for the still. Basically, did you build your grain bill for a 5-gallon batch? No, okay, so I just went over that. However, you will leave a lot behind in the grain. Fermenting on the grain enhances flavor. I mean, that's what I think too. I agree with you, Wayne. That's why I like, one of the reasons why I like fermenting on the grain. I feel it enhances flavor. I read somewhere bourbon is supposed to be fermented on the grain. Don't know if it's true. I don't know either, Oscar. The only thing I know for sure about bourbon, for it to technically be bourbon, is it has to be aged in a brand new oak barrel, and it has to be at least 51% corn. Those are the only two things I know of. But then again, like if I make something and I want to call it a bourbon, I'm gonna call it a bourbon. It's that simple. It's my whiskey. Spent grain and dunder are good for compost. Yep. I don't think ours ever make it to the compost. We dump them outside. I think the critters in the woods get it all.
Oh, the raccoons.
The raccoons and possums and deer.
He had to film them one night. It was late at night. There's like a whole family of raccoons, mama and babies.
Yeah.
Them.
It was like we had. At this time, I just had a big tarp set up like a tent. It was like a 20 by 20 tarp that I would mash in and do all that. And I would just dump my spent grain just right outside the tent, like 10 feet from where I had my little chair that I would sit in. And those little wild raccoons would come right up there and eat it with me sitting there. And they'd just kind of keep their eye on me.
We even had a vet recommend that we feed it to a sick pregnant horse that we rescued.
Yeah.
Help her out.
Let's see. What about where am I? It's messy to strain for sure. Okay, fermenting on the grain. Weiser says, okay, fermenting on the grain sounds perfect for me. That grain would be perfect for making mushroom grain spawn because that would make it sterile. Weiser, I'll take your word for that. I don't know anything about that. Bonnie says, spent grain is good for cows, chickens, pigs, etc. Yep. For sure, they all love it. Dogs going into the Uncle Charlie says dogs go into the compost pile, get drunk and stinky. Wayne says false bottoms are the best. Yeah, I don't have any false bottoms, but I've seriously been thinking about getting one. I think
Real bottom.
he's not talking about that bottom though. Can't take her anywhere. Okay, let me check on this. How long have we been going for, hon? See if there's a time.
52, almost 53 minutes.
Oh, okay. We got a little bit more to go.
Now it's 53 minutes.
I think I could probably
How many
go ahead
pounds
and
of
start
grain are you
dropping.
using?
Huh?
How many pounds of grain are you using?
16 pounds of grain for 8 gallons of water, so it's 2 pounds per gallon. What I'm doing today. Sorry for the confusion. No worries, Lucas. She's here all week, folks. Remember to tip your waitress. That's funny. I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the heat and let it start dropping because I know I've had complete gelatinization. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna turn down the heat a little bit.
Wow. Nice. Turn off the sauna.
And this is the first time I've used this paddle mixer, so I'm assuming it's going to work. It doesn't look like I'm getting any scorching. Working pretty well. Don't know how long that drill is going to last. It is a Cobalt brand, Lowe's brand drill. Kind of the, medium to low end of the quality spectrum. Okay.
Yes, Bonnie. We actually have a fan blowing on low. Turn it up any higher, it'd be too loud.
Yeah. So, someone was asking a few weeks back on one of the live streams about joining the channel, and because YouTube offers a subscription service you can join channels, and we're considering doing that, where you could join the channel. It's kind of like a Patreon thing where it's a monthly gift and you get extra content. Maybe we would do a members only live stream feed or videos or some sort of thing. I don't know what, but I am curious to know who might be interested in something like that. Is that worth pursuing to get some, some exclusive content? If you were a member, they have like different price levels, and not sure how it would start, but maybe you're on fire, baby. Different price levels, like starting like $3, and then have something like $8, and it's just a recurring monthly thing. Depending on what level you sign up for, would depend on what your perks were. Haven't got it all figured out. Not even sure if I'm going to do it, but I'm just curious to see if anyone would be interested in something like that. Just let me know. Lucas says,
Jealousy?
do you think you couldn't jealousy noise in a match ton like you do when you're converting at, okay, you must be using text to talk, brother. Like a cooler mash, you don't have to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can do like a mash tun, which is how I'll be using this. I think you could do the same thing that we're doing over here. And I'll be doing those also, and let you guys know how it goes. I have some forms of electronic payment or bank cash. I have so cash only. I get that, brother. Yeah, no worries.
Me too.
How does it benefit the channel? It benefits the channel because it gives us more cash flow actually to build more equipment, do videos where we're building one thing or another, buying just the things to do all the things that we do. Right now all of this comes out of pocket, and which is fine. We love doing it, but if you wanted to support us, that's just a way that you could. That's all it is. Yeah, I finally caught an actual live stream. Woohoo! Sloopid noob. Glad you made it. Dex Beast. I'll be back. My dog farted and I can't be in the office. That is hilarious. LOL one song. Sorry I'm late. Hello everyone. Hey Jason. Glad you're in the house. Jay Fisher says, just getting here, almost home from farm store. All right, deal. Uncle Charlie, no debt. Yeah, I get that. Us either. No debt. Florida Shiner says, easy in. Appreciate you, brother. Get you an electric motor off of the washing machine or something. Yeah, I definitely want to get a better motor for this setup. This was just something I decided I was going to throw together. I decided I was going to do it day before yesterday. So I think it's probably a temporary thing anyway, but it sure is working right now. My arms are not at all tired from doing all this stirring. Still in old school. That's the best part. My utilities and I'm set. Yep.
Too much information.
TMI. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call it. I'm going to take the drill out. I'm going to take out the drill and set it aside. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to put in the wort chiller and start dropping this temperature. We're going to get it down to 140. We're going to add this other Amylase. Oh, let me drop. Turn off the heat. And the good thing about it too is I don't. Once we get down to 140.
Hank says thank you for your phone call.
Oh yeah, you bet. Where am I going to set this, babe?
Oh, shit. You didn't
I
put that one
didn't
out.
plan that far.
Oh, I said that word. I need to.
Okay. Whew. Didn't plan far enough ahead for that. So, this is the wort chiller we built a couple weeks back or a week back.
That thing's heavier than it looks.
Get this plugged in.
Denzel wants to know how your journey down the distilling. What? How did that go? Distilling rabbit hole began? Yeah.
Getting to spend time with a family member as a child that ran shine. Okay. So we got cold water going in. I had put like 4 bags of ice in this water. It's coming in this side really cold, and it's coming out this side warmish. So I'm just going to kind of stir this around. And anyway, we're going to drop that temperature down. I really don't feel like I can trust that thermometer. I'll drop this one in here.
You're just going to swing back and forth.
I'm going to see if these thermometers match up, because this one was acting really funky earlier. I had the heat cranked up and it was dropping, which should not have been the case, right? Okay. Well, they're reading about the same. Oh well. All right. We'll let that cool down a little bit. I should probably stir that around just to keep the warm water moving across that warm mash.
That pot is also a still.
Yeah, this is one of the stills, the pot for one of the stills we made.
3 or 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah. Several years back.
7, 8. No, it was 8
There's
years
a
ago.
video.
8 years ago.
Is it 8 years ago? I don't think it's that long.
Oh, this is the second big pot still, right? The first one.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 years ago.
So I made a video of me making this still, but it's on a different channel, another channel that we had that was really about living off grid. And it's also got a 2-inch column and a liquid condenser, just like the other two that we have. But it just does more at one time. So it's dropping pretty fast. It's already down to 150. So that's pretty awesome. Normally, before I made this wort chiller, I would just let it naturally cool down, and it just takes forever. So this is pretty awesome. This is going real quick. And like, let me see, I'm gonna grab the camera. It's not even fully submerged because the pot is too big. So, but it's still working really well.
I didn't want to be sober during the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that's a good reason. That's as good as any. So we'll get this down to 140, and we'll add in the other 12 milliliters of the glucoamylase. And what's good about that glucoamylase is you don't have to hold the temperature. Like, I don't have to turn the propane back on because it continues to convert the fermentable sugars. It continues to make them all the way down to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty awesome. So we can just be letting it cool down all the way.
An atmospheric water generator.
Atmospheric water.
He said the wort chiller would be perfect for an atmospheric water generator as well.
Don't know what that means. atmospheric water generator. To condense, I guess that means to condense water out of the air. I think maybe that's what they're saying. So, one of my plans for this batch right here
We talking science.
is I'm going to oak this batch. Or not oak it, I mean age it. I would like to get like a 1 gallon oak barrel and age this batch for, I don't know, a few years, see what we get. What do you guys prefer to make? I know, you know, some of you already know because you're in the MeWe group all the time.
What are you hoping your starting gravity will be, and will you be adding sugar?
My starting gravity, if I got the conversion right, if everything went well, the starting gravity should be around 1.060, which will be fine for me. I'm not gonna boost that with sugar. 1.60 is good enough for me for what I'm wanting to make with this. So, you know, when we did the brandy, we bumped that up. I think we were at like 173 for an initial gravity on that, which turned out really good. That brand, if you guys hadn't watched that brandy live stream, man, that stuff turned out really good. I was really impressed with it. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, to be honest with you. Dang, that was good. And I'm also thinking now we ended up with almost a gallon at like 75 proof, I think, once we back sweetened. And I think I'm going to take a quart of that and put some charred oak in it and see what that does. What do you guys think? Who here has
Stupid noob said he made it and it was good.
He was surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Has anyone here oak aged some brandy? And if so, how did it turn out? Because that's kind of what I want to do with that.
Uncle Charlie said try sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I'm going to try sweet potatoes for sure.
Karen Shaw did it.
Okay, we're done. That was fast. And that's messy. Unplug me, Ben, if you would, please. That middle one right there.
Unplug you.
Yep. And this is going to be a mess.
Let me just set it outside.
No, because then it'll drag water across the floor from the pump. Okay, so let's add in our other enzymes.
Neil said barrel aged brandy. Beautiful.
Where's the other enzyme, Ben? Do you know? Oh, there it is.
Hiding behind your coffee cup.
Hiding. And we're going to do another 12 ounces of this.
Just to let you know, nobody needs that big of a coffee cup.
Oh, well, if you say so, that's all I can say.
Kind of hypocritical of me, huh?
Okay, and so this is what is going to convert our saccharides into fermentable sugars. Leave it there.
Right here?
I'm coming right back.
Okay.
Winsong is learning how to be a camera woman.
I'm doing 50 things at one time.
And so a bit of this, and it should get really sweet.
Uncle Charlie's Shine always gets drank before he could age it.
Yeah. Yeah, for the longest time, we had too many people wanting what we were making. So We never got to age anything.
Oh, I don't know. We got some sitting there a year now. Like
Well,
six-
yeah, now,
6 or
but
7
for so long before that,
half-gallon jars. Yeah,
we'd run all summer long and not have any in the cabinet.
like Dale said, the whole county wants our shine.
So, it's getting sweeter.
Takes you off that big old thing.
All right. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, then I'll stir it up some more here in a little bit.
Thanks, Joe Stillwater.
Okay, let's see what I've missed in the chat.
Joe gave me a pat on the back.
Joe says the oak aged brandy is great. His is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try it. Iron Duke barrel aged some brandy. Beautiful. Well, now I'm getting even more excited about it. Weiser says, yeah, it condenses water from the air, even in the driest place on earth. Desert, it's seen rain 500 years. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I bet it would work. Rubber Duck says, Uncle Charlie, I have that problem too. That's why I do sugar heads. Helps keep my paws off the all grain until it ages. Still an old school says same here. Joe Stillwater says Winsong is doing great with her camera. Yep. Woohoo! Good job, Winsong. Okay.
Banana brandy.
Banana brandy, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm going to try really hard. We've got about 2 miles from us. There's a pawpaw thicket, and I have wanted to get a bunch of pawpaws ever since we moved here. But I just
Can't beat the deer to them.
You can't beat the deer. Like you've got like a 2 or 3 day window from the time they fall down on the ground to the time that they're gone, because the deer love them. So I'm going to try real hard to go get some pawpaws this year, because I'd love to make some pawpaw brandy. Let's see. Wayne, old aged. I think you probably mean oak aged some corn liquor. It was amazing. Leave a lot of headroom for the banana. Yeah.
So, do you remember running into those strange people off Pawpaw Branch Road?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a story for this.
Yes, it is. It's hilarious.
Okay, so anyway, so
You and Jeremy.
we moved. Yeah, me and a friend of mine named Jeremy. When we moved here, we had heard about this pawpaw fruit and pawpaw tree that was a local wild edible, and I had wanted to find some. And there was this road not far from us called Pawpaw Branch, and I thought, well, that it had to have been named Pawpaw Branch for a reason, right? Maybe there's some pawpaw trees around there. So I'm out there exploring. I've run across these. I'm going to say characters, these two fellas that were brothers, and I asked him, I said, hey, I'm looking, told him what I was doing, trying to find a pawpaw tree. Have you guys seen any? Do you know where they are? And I said, I figured with the road like Pawpaw Branch, this is where I could find some pawpaw trees.
Weren't you lost in the forest?
That day.
And you asked them
I think that was a different day.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
They had a crazy sister.
I would get lost in the forest when we first moved here, because I would just go out in the forest and start walking. I'd get lost, and I'd just keep walking until I ended up on a road somewhere, and then ask directions and get my way home. And she's saying that was one of those days, and it might have been. But anyway, so I asked him, and he says, yeah, this road's named after my grandpa. I was like, oh, okay. He says, or my pawpaw. I said, oh, okay. He said, because he done.
You thought it was because of the trees. And he
Yeah,
said,
I said, I thought, yeah, that's right. I said, I thought it was because of the pawpaw tree, and maybe, that's. He goes, no. He said, my pawpaw found a branch here.
So it's pawpaw branch.
So they named the road Pawpaw Branch, which for some reason is hilarious to me. Anyway, so long story into, yeah, I want to make some pawpaw brandy this year. We'll see if I can make that happen. Let's see, am I missing anything in the chat? Wayne's, let's see, where did I leave off? Oh, okay, still in old school. I'm going to try something with elderberries this year, flavor, mash, something. Yeah, that's awesome. I've been doing mostly rum. Wayne says, yep. Yeah, we've been watching you with Wayne is also in the Moonshine for Beginners group, so we've been seeing him do all kinds of rum. I'm allowing some dunder to work off.
And he's very smart and helpful.
Jason says a tiny pat of butter on top of your fruit wash helps immensely with foam control. Wait until fermentation starts and place the thin pat on top. Okay, yeah, I'll try that. Yeah, I noticed that on the brandy mash. It was really foamy.
Hello, Dubs. Good to see you, sugar.
Dubs Montgomery is on YouTube. What
Yeah,
in the world? Glad you're here, brother.
He loves us.
Yeah. Let's see. Didn't know that we live near Pawpaw, Michigan. Oh, cool.
Do they have pawpaw trees up
Are you
there?
familiar with pawpaw trees up there? The pawpaw fruit up there in Michigan?
Maybe that was actually named after a real pawpaw.
Maybe.
Someone's pawpaw.
Someone's paw.
Yeah.
Good luck getting to the pawpaw before the deer. Yeah, that's the
That's
problem.
been our problem.
I've been trying for years, and like it's almost impossible. I've used butter in the still, but never the fermenter. Well, I'll try putting some butter in the next brandy I do. You bet.
White oak.
Let me stir this up a little more. Keep the things a going.
What backyard?
Still getting sweeter.
Lucas, we have a 3,000 plus acre backyard.
Lucas,
13,000.
That way you. Yeah, I've considered it. Here's the thing. 9 years. That's how long it takes to get a fruit off of them. Which I guess if I'd have planted one when we moved here, we'd be getting fruit today. But yeah, the backyard is the national forest. Our property butts up to it.
So we kind of do have them in the backyard.
Yeah, we do have them in the backyard. It's just a really big backyard. Then when the deer go to eat it, you'll have deer in your freezer too. Yeah, well, Mama doesn't let me hunt the deer on our property.
Nope, they're protected here. Across the property line, go for it. Not on the property.
She feels like this is a safe haven for the deer.
Well, it just seems like there's little injured critter angels. They always seem to guide them our way.
Better get started then, don't waste any more time. I know, right? Just gotta go find one of those seeds, one of those pawpaw seeds. Wayne says he uses white oak for aging spirits. Yeah, I found a local sawmill that I can get white oak from, and then I'll have to spend some time seasoning it, getting it ready before I can use it.
It was Dove's. Rarely am I ever able to resist laughing at him.
Plant one in your backyard. Yeah, got that. Good to get started. That's way crazy Michigan hillbillies here are. They try stuff like that. Yeah. Dubs says, I wonder if banana brandy and peanut butter whiskey would taste like a peanut butter and nanner sandwich. It works with cornbread for PB and J shot. Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds really good to me. Lucas shot your deer from your living room. All righty. Uncle Charlie, hope I don't have too much issue with the deer eating my garden. I'll pop them if they do. Either way, you get to eat, right? Bonnie says, me too, safe haven. Yeah.
See, that's why I love her.
All right. Well, guys, I'm probably not going to go through the process of getting this thing into the fermenter because I still got to swap this valve out. I don't want to put it in there and get it all ready. And I'm just going to let this go.
Hey, we still got internet.
We still got internet, and we're about to shut this down and still got internet. Crazy. So I'm just going to kind of let this make its way to 90 degrees before I pitch the yeast. I'm going to pitch a couple of teaspoons of yeast, and we'll see how long it takes for this to work off, and then we'll run it through the still, and we'll do some kind of aging with this batch. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. I'd like to do a medium toast maybe. And then we've got the Mountain Brandy batch coming up soon. We'll have to run that. We've got a batch of all corn that's been aging without any oak or anything for several months now. We're going to add some oak to
Jeff
that.
Stillwater's asking for an iodine test.
Iodine test. All right, let's see. Let's see what we get. Let me grab some of this.
You're welcome, Wayne. I'm not quite sure what for, but you're welcome.
Another iodine test here. Grab that. Hey.
Dick's Beast got somebody who weld his cake still for him.
Dick. Oh,
Yeah.
You found a welder. Good deal. All right, we're going to stir that up.
Lucas, he says apparently all you need is thunderstorm spring good internet,
I don't know
which is usually
if you can
backwards.
see the difference. This was the iodine test when we started. This was the iodine test from just now. And this is still all thick and gloopy. Of course, it's got corn chunks in it, and this doesn't. But it's still, you can see how goopy it is because it's just starch. Who here has ever used these liquid enzymes? I got these from moonshinedistiller.com. They were like $6 a piece. Like, it's really cheap. And this, what I've got in my hands will do 100 gallons. So I really do like these. First time I saw these used was Wayne. He did it, and man, I've been wanting to try it ever since, and finally got to where I had the time to do a batch, caught up on all the other stuff. Let's see.
Only powdered enzymes.
Apparently all you need is thunderstorms. Brings the good internet, right? That's funny. It's so, like, it's just not reliable here. We never know what the day is going to bring when it comes to the internet connection. And we're working on that. We're working on solving this issue.
We had it figured out, and then AT&T went and swapped up all its stuff, and now we're trying to figure it out again.
Yeah. So our goal is to improve the live stream. And I got lots of things in mind, plans to make it better, but it's all just going to happen in stages, in steps. So we'll get there. With Joe, Rob, iodine test. Okay. Yep, I did it. You guys saw it. Were you guys able to see it? Let me know. Make sure. Let's see. Deb says, LOL. Wayne at the pub and banner. PB, not pub. Damn autocorrect. Okay. Uncle Charlie's only ever used powdered enzymes. Listen, Uncle Charlie, you could just get this high temp. Just get this one and use it at the high temperature, and then you can use your powdered enzymes for your glucose, for your beta amylase. But this is where it's at. This high temperature amylase. I mean, I put it in. It was 95 degrees when I put this in, and it immediately started thinning out the starch. So I say that. I'm guessing you could use this to break down the starch into saccharides, and then you could use your powdered enzymes to break it down even further to the fermentable sugars.
Bonnie said some issues with internet here. I'm not sure she's talking about hers or ours.
Let's see. Bob Knoll says, I have, and from some place. Joe Stillwater says, I've used powdered. Okay. Bob Knoll, I've done both powdered and liquid. I like liquid best. Yep, me too. Definitely like the liquid better. Uncle Charlie, that's where I got my 50-gallon pot. Wayne Ferreira, I have liquid enzymes, but not used them as of yet. Yeah, you're going to like them when you use them, I'm sure. Jason says, do you need alpha and beta amylase? I have alpha powder only. Well, yeah, the alpha doesn't break things down all the way to fermentable sugars. So you need both enzymes to make it work. If you're not using, now what you can do is you can use the alpha amylase. Here's another useful tip. You can get this, the high temperature alpha amylase. And let's say you want to do an all grain batch with some malted barley. You can put this in when you're gelatinizing your other grain, and then you can add in your malted barley, because a lot of times what you have to do is you can add, there's two different temperature ranges for natural alpha and beta amylase. And so the trick is always getting that temperature just right to get a full 100% conversion when you're using a malted grain like barley. So if you use this as your alpha, then you don't have to worry about that temperature range when you're adding in your malted barley. You can go down to the low side where the beta amylase works best. Like you can drop down to like 143 or something like that, where the beta side of the natural enzymes within the malted barley work best. So that's another use for the liquid enzymes. Even if you don't get this, you can get this just to do your all grains that you're using a malted grain with.
Bonnie has Starlink, but she says the force surrounding her. I lost it.
Okay. Off grid must be you. No breaking here. Okay. Yeah, I think Wayne's talking to you, Bonnie. Our internet seems to be working pretty good right now. Boy, my nose is itching. Kunder jinxed it. Let's see. Kunder's got some breakup also. Well, like I said, we'll continually improve this process. It'll get better. You can get a signal booster either specifically. Yeah, we have one of those at our cabin. You know, this is the owl's nest, which is about 1,000, no, not 1,000, I'm sorry, about 250 feet from our cabin. And we may get a booster, and that might help too. But we have some other options we're thinking about. Thanks, Weiser.
Okay,
Jason.
Wayne, awesome. We really do appreciate you.
What did I miss from Wayne? Anyway, okay.
He was telling me
Maybe.
what he was thinking me about earlier on.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to get there.
I was expressing how much we like how helpful he is and sweet he is.
You bet. Jason says, I understand. Thanks, Cyrus. I'm pretty new to the starch conversion side of things. Yeah, it seems when you first get started, the conversion seems really tricky. Why is that? Did you turn the exposure way up? It
No.
got way bright on the
I
camera.
bumped that, but I don't know. The camera's doing this. I don't know what happened.
Hold on. Let me check the camera
Okay,
real quick.
now it looks normal. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the using the enzymes and the malted grains and all that stuff is it seems really confusing when you first get started, but it's not as confusing as it seems. And you just take one step at a time. That's why I recommend people start with the sugar wash and then move to like the beginner all grain kit because it uses flaked corn, so you're not having to worry about the gelatinization. So that's like one more little step you can take, and then you can take another step and add some malted barley. You can start gelatinizing. All of these little steps, just they're, you know, it's one more learning curve. And if you just try and take them one at a time, it's a lot easier than trying to jump in as a beginner and say, okay, you know, I'm gonna make some single malt scotch, you know. So that's why I always recommend people just take things one step at a time. You'll eventually get there, and it won't take as long as you think it'll take. Yeah, so just hang out with us, Jason. We'll get you there. Does the grain keep gelatinizing even after adding the liquid? Yeah, that's the good thing. That's another good thing about this. If you hold your temperature like we did a while ago, we were holding our temperature for like, I don't know how long we actually did it, an hour or so. The grain is continually gelatinizing as this is continually breaking down the starch. So they're both kind of working together at the same time. That's another good reason for this. It saves more time. Let's see.
So,
What?
Bonnie is the only one I know of so far that's in the forest or close to the forest with Starlink. She said it messes up sometimes.
I know that Starlink it requires line of sight, so that may be a problem if you've got trees blowing in the way. I'm not sure. We missed our chance to get Starlink. I was signed up for it, and they were supposed to send me an email when it got here, and then I never did get an email. Checked back with them, and it was full. We got to wait 2 more years to get the Starlink.
Yeah, and we want it so much.
Yeah.
We're just kind of curious, though, with the forest around us, and we're not close to the forest. We are in the forest. We're just kind of wondering how that's going to do.
So Deb says he's got it too. He's got Starlink, and it drops out occasionally, no trees or anything. I think it's just service, still analyzing. Yeah, and everybody who is signed up right now, everybody who has signed up for Starlink now, you're beta testing for them. So, you know, there's going to be some issues and some problems that happen right now. Lucas says mine got chopped me about 5 minutes ago for like 2 seconds. Okay. Dubs loves the service. Yeah. Bob Nicole says malted grains has a learning curve to it. Enzymes makes it a lot easier. I can do malted and still do and use the enzymes as a safety net. Yeah, there's like 1,000 different ways to do this stuff. You know, you can get into, when you start getting into either the malted grains or using the enzymes, you can also add sugar as like an adjunct to boost your SG. So, and that's one of the things we have coming up. We're going to do a mash. We're going to do a community mash, and nobody really knows about it yet. This is something that the admins and another group that we have called Jarring the Fun, some of the folks who work behind the scenes in the Moonshine for Beginners group have been working on this kind of group mashing project that we've got coming soon that we'll be announcing. But that's one, we're going to use a safety net there. We're going to, half of the recipe is going to be using starch conversion, and then we're going to add sugar also as a safety net. So no matter what, you're going to be able to get some alcohol, and hopefully you get the starch conversion too. So it's going to be a fun little project you'll hear more about coming up. Okay, Wayne's got to go fishing. Oh, finish. Okay, got to go finish the HVAC system. All right, see you later, Wayne. Thanks for dropping
But
by.
he wishes he was fishing.
Jack's Hobbies says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jack. How you doing? Did you just jump in? Because we did an all grain mash, and it's just sitting there right now. Let's see. Need some clearance as the dish mushrooms the signal up. Mushrooms the signal up into the sky. Okay. Dish faces north where we have the most trees. Yep.
So, but it works pretty good even with all the trees.
Dub says he's happy with it,
Hmm.
but he doesn't have the trees. But oh, okay, Jackpot John. Hey, brother, glad you're here. So, Jackpot John is really active over on the Volley space. He's always helping people out. Man, we were talking about honey and meat and honeybees the other day. Yeah, that Volley space is really active. Glad you made it, John. Let's see. Before buying a signal booster, I will post a video in the DIY Off-Grid MeWe group that works even better. Okay, cool, man. I'll watch it. Thanks, Wiser. Appreciate you. Dub says, I think that's where most of the satellite resides. Mine faces north or straight up, depending on the weather. Haven't seen it home in on anything to the south. Okay, well, folks, I think we're going to end the live stream here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't know what we're doing next week yet, so
You gonna finish this?
maybe we'll be running the steel. I got lots of stuff to run. Who knows what all we'll be doing, but I'll come up with something. Maybe build something else. We'll see.
Ask them what they want to see.
What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see next week? So we did the all grain you guys asked for, but I did the liquid enzymes. We could do an all grain with some malted barley if you wanted. Joe, see you later, Joe. Nick Burns, good job once again. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you. Need to start waking up earlier. Yeah, that's all right. Uncle Charlie says sweet potato.
Yeah.
There's an idea. Maybe we'll do a sweet potato bourbon. I know that Randy had a sweet potato bourbon video up on his channel that I've been wanting to try. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that.
What's the heater app control?
Huh?
What is the heater app control?
I don't even.
Last
Loving the new heater app control. What is that, Bonnie? You're welcome, David. We really enjoy doing these live streams. So, and don't forget too, we're giving away 10 hats over in the Moonshine for Beginners group. If you want to get on that, you got to be a member. See you later, Bonnie. Scott McNeil, what time do you start? We do 10 a.m. Central every Sunday for the live streams. As always, thank you. Loads of sweet potato sounds good. Okay, Oscar, appreciate you. Thanks, Joe.
She says Starlink.
Okay. Oh, I guess you're saying Starlink has an app to control a heater. Is that what I'm gathering right?
Oscar says sweet potato sound good.
Yep.
2 votes sweet potato.
2 votes for sweet potato. I guess, unless something happens, we'll just try that. Rocky says, we'll see you later. Going to check out MeWe. All right, we'll see you over there, Rocky. Can now control the Starlink heater with an app. Turn it off or on.
Cool.
Deb says, yeah, glad you can turn it off. Power hog.
Not good. Not when you live on solar.
What about alcohol fuel? We could do some stuff about alcohol fuel.
Another vote for sweet potato.
Another vote for sweet, yep. Rob says, sweet potato. Joel says, sweet potato. Check out George's recipe for sweet potato. Okay, I will. I think I remember seeing it a long time ago, though. I'll check them both out, and then we'll either do one or the other or some mashup of the two. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, more sweet potato votes. We're doing sweet potato next week.
All right, sweet potato, it is next week. Folks, we are getting out of here. Appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hey, this is doing the same thing it did last time.
Not turned on.
Not turning
X
off.
up in the upper right corner.